Jesus, for this day, this morning. Pray you forgive us for all of our sins, iniquities, transgressions, and trespasses. Pray that you will lead and guide us through this teaching. Be with us throughout this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Okay. Atum, Shu, Tefnut, Gib, Nut, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, and Seth. This is called an Ennead. That's what it is called. It is called an Ennead. What do an Ennead mean, man? 9. Ennead, praise God. Ennead means 9. That's what Ennead means. Amen. And we see these 9 as the Heliopolitan Ennead. Helio is helio. I'm English, helio, which means, but it's, when I looked at it, it said it's Heliopolitan. Heliopolitan. And this morning I decided I'll actually give you the definition of politan. Heliopolitan. I'm going to give you the definition this morning for politan. Politan. Now remember, we're looking at the black presence in the Bible. And this portion that we're looking at, the Heliopolitan Ennead, politan meaning, Politan, politan, polite, no politan, politan, polite, Polita, no politan, or political, no politan. Would you believe that? No politan, Polit, no politan. Would you believe that? Polite, so I'm going to go start doing some digging and find politan. But we know it means house of gods, Heliopolitan. Heliopolitan. We know this comes from politics already. I can see that right now. Let me read politics. Heliopolitan. Politics means citizens. Citizens of the sun. That's what we're going to call it, because that's what it is. Okay? Yeah. Citizens, Heliopolitan. Citizens, politic means citizens. So these are citizens. These are, hello? These are citizens. These are citizens. And we know helio, that means sun. Let me go over here and look at helio. I know that is in here. Helio. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. H, I, J, K. H, E, L, H, A, N, H, A, R, H, E, E, H, E, L, L, H, E, L, P, H, E, L, I, L, H, E, L, L, H, E, L. Would you believe that? That's not it. Helio. Helio. Sunlight. Greek. Helio. Greek. See, this is Greek. G-R-E-E-K. That's Greek. Helio, that means sun. That's why I say they're citizens of the sun. Or what they told us in the book, there's the house of the gun. Helios. And see, Helios, and in here they got Heliopolis. Heliopolis, literally city of the sun. Polis, which means city. Ancient holy city in the Nile Delta, just north of where Cairo now stands. It was the center for the worship of the sun god, Ra. But in this case, they're not calling them Ra. What do they call them? Atum. Amen. All right, y'all gotta be, come on. They call them Atum. They call them Atum. It's the same as Ra. Ra and Atum. Sometimes we'll see Ray. These are, what are these? These are sun gods. They are sun gods. That's what they is. And the Ennead was the politics or the citizens of the sun. Helio, give you some words for helio. Heliocentric. Calculated from viewed as from or belonging to the center of the sun, having or regarding the sun as the ceiling, the center. Heliochrome, an early type of photograph in natural colors. Heliograph, permanent image formed on a glass plate by an early photographic process. Heliopolis, ancient city in the Nile Delta. Helios, Greek. See, they go Greek myth. They go Greek myth. But the dictionary go Greek myth. It shouldn't be Greek myth. It should be
Greek.
Mizraim myth. Because, like I told you, Heliopolis is the term the Greeks gave it. What was Alexander the Great?
He was a Greek.
He was a Greek. So Alexander the Great changed the name from On to Heliopolis, city of the sun. That's what they called it. He called it the city of the sun. What you want, Charles?
I said so. Noah Webster had it too.
Yeah, Noah Webster's got it too. Greek myth. He got soul on, but on here he got Latin soul. Oh, that's Old Norse. Nope, he got Greek Helios too. So even Noah Webster doesn't have it right. Noah Webster doesn't have it right because the Egyptians, Mizraim, you got to know, was before the Greeks. Before there was Greeks, there was Mizraim. So now I've been reading out of the great courses of the Mediterranean world. But what we want to do is we want to look at the scripture. And what we're going to do this morning is, what I'm showing you is, what we see here is a corruption of the attributes of God. That's what it's called, Charles.
Okay.
This is a corruption of the attributes of God. Because all of the attributes from God is attributed to the Ennead. Attributes of God. Attributes of God. ATT, attributes of God, that's Elohim, is, this is messed up English, is ATT, attributed, right?
Yes.
The attributes are attributed. The attributes are attributed. So the attributes of God, attributed, if you don't know what it means to be given over. If you don't know what attributed means. Let me look up these words, because I want you guys to know what words mean. I want you to understand what I'm saying when I'm reading. So we see the attributes of God. The attributes of God. ATT. ATTRIB. ATTRIT. Attribute. This here it says attribute. Attribute, it means to assign, set down or think as belonging to, produced by, resulting from, originated in. So they say everything, all creation originated in the Ennead. All creation originated in the Ennead, in Atum, Shu, Tefnu, Gib, Nut, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, and Set. Atum being the God that created himself. We're going to go into some of this. It means to be, attribute means to be assigned. It means to set down or think of as belonging to, produced by, resulting from. So they say the creation is resulting from the Ennead. That's what the creation results from. They said, who said that up? Who said that up?
The Greeks.
Who said wrong? Who said that, Cleo? Who said that? James Brown? Who said that, Charles?
People of Heliopolis or on.
Wrong. Who said that makes sense? People. Wrong. Who said that, Carolyn? Wrong. Mizraim said. Mizraim is Egypt. You guys got lost again. All of y'all I asked. This comes out of the mind of Mizraim. Ennead is mind of. Ennead, these 9 gods, it comes out of the mind of Mizraim. It does not come from the Greeks. The Greeks gave it another name. You guys missed that when I said it. The Greeks, when they went and conquered Egypt, when Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, when God gave Alexander the Great the authority over the world. Turn your Bible to the book of Daniel.
Right, cool.
Go, turn your Bible to the book of Daniel.
Amen.
Turn your Bible to the book of Daniel. You guys still is not really recognizing what is going on. Let's go to Daniel chapter. Let's go to Daniel chapter. Let's go to Daniel chapter 9. Let's go to Daniel chapter 9. Go to Daniel chapter 9.
Amen.
Daniel chapter 9. And we want to look at verse number. Well, you know why that's humming, Charles. It's humming. I can hear it. Well, why it's humming? Stop now. Stop now. All right. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7.
Amen.
Daniel chapter 7, verse number 1. No, Daniel chapter 7, I'm not reading that. Verse number 6. Yeah, I don't want to read all that. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse number 6. It says, the world empire of Greece under Alexander. It says here, it says, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. That's the beast. The beast is it, to it, because it's a system. That is Alexander the Great. You look at your Bible and say the world empire of Greece under Alexander. It say confer Daniel 2:39. So let's look at Daniel 2:39. That's why I like this. This is a good study Bible. Let's look at Daniel 2:39. Daniel 2:39. Daniel 2:39.
Amen.
It says here, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of branch which shall bear rule over the earth. So let's go to chapter 8 and verse number 20. Let's go to chapter 8, verse number 20. It say the ram which you saw us having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia. I want verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia, or Greece. I don't see nobody putting Greece there. I don't see nobody writing. Say Grecia. That means you should have Greece there. Greece. So you can know what Grecia is. I know you don't know what Grecia is. And you get over that action, you're not going to know it's Greece. Grecia is Greece, Greece. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. That's Alexander the Great. You look in the margin, they say E. deep. It say deep. Alexander the Great, then it say E. Then it say E. It say E. You look at verse 22. Now that being broken, first king, whereas 4 stood up for it. That is for Greece. 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, out of Greece, but not in his own power. So you look at E, it says the four empires in your margin to which Alexander's empire was divided around BC 300. Greece, Asia Minor, including Syria, Egypt, the East. Okay, what did I tell us to go? 7, go back to chapter 7. Go back to chapter 7. Then we look at chapter 7. Chapter 7, we looked at verse 6. After this, I beheld the Lord another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And that is the 4 kings, the 4 empires. The 4 empires in 822. They say now that being broken, that's the first king. That was Alexander the Great. When at 822 it said, now that being broken. What is that? That is the king of Greece, the first king. That king was broken. Whereas 4 stood up for it. The first king, Greece. Whereas 4 stood up for Greece, the first king, 4 kingdoms. 4 kingdoms. 4 stood up for the first king. But not in his own power. That means each one of them kingdoms did not have their own power. You look over in your margin. It says D. D goes with the first king. And it says Alexander the Great. You look at your margin. It says E. Then it says 4 kingdoms in 22. You got an E next to them. It says the 4 empires into which Alexander's empire was divided around BC 300. And so when he conquered Egypt, he named it Heliopolis, city of the sun, representing himself. He took on the name of that city, changed it from On to Heliopolis, and attributed all the attributes, assigned all the attributes, and he assigned all the attributes. Assign, attribute means to set down or think of as belonging to, produced by, resulting from, or originating in him since he conquered Egypt. On, and named it Heliopolis. Before they had assigned, before they had assigned all the attributes, all the qualities, all the characteristics. Attribute also means, as a noun, attribute is a transitive verb. This is attribute. Attribute. A-T-T-R-I-B-U-T. That is a transitive verb. A verb shows action. This shows action. That shows action. Transit shows movement. The Chicago Transit, the Chicago Transit Authority. They give it an acronym, Charles?
CTA.
Excuse me.
Yes.
They give it an acronym?
Yes.
Thank you very much. CTA. That means Chicago, the authority of Chicago for movement. Now you know what CTA means. It's the Chicago Movement Authority. They got a contract with Chicago. They are the authority for moving people to and fro in Chicago. Talk back with me, James Brown.
Amen.
That's what, so it's called Chicago Transit Authority. Transit or transist, the verb, is a verb of action. So they move everything from Genesis 1 they moved everything to the mind of Mizraim. Mizraim took everything that God did in Genesis 1, put it in his mind, then he drew it and put it in pictures. When Alexander the Great went down when Alexander the Great got there, Carolyn, it was called On. Do you understand now?
Yes.
When he got there, it was called On. After he conquered Egypt, he changed the name to Heliopolis. Do we understand?
Yes.
We have a hard time understanding. And so by him changing the name to Heliopolis, he set down or thought of as belonging to him, produced by him, resulting from him, or originating in him, everything that was in On, because he conquered. So now everything they have becomes his. And that's how they did the nations. Once they conquered the nations, they would adopt their gods and assign all the attributes attributed would be assigned. Attributes of God would be the qualities, the characteristics, attributes of God, qualities of God, characteristics of God, work of God, creation of God, all God's creation, his work, attributes, characteristic attributes, they attributed, assigned, resulted from, produce. They said, Atum, Shu, Tefnu, Gib, Nut, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, Set. All the creation was produced. All of it was assigned. All of it resulted from the mind of Mizraim, which in the Bible is called Egypt. They took all of these qualities, characteristics, and creations and placed them up on in the air. Do we understand what I just said? I'm trying to make this as plain to you as possible, because as we go through here, I'm going to be showing you some things that is going on in America that has not changed. So now, when Alexander the Great goes down in Egypt in 331 BC, between 330 and 331 BC, he conquers the whole world. Maybe I need to bring that out too. He changes the names of these cities he conquered. He gives them all Greek names. That's what he does. Because when we read in Genesis chapter 41, you understand it good now, ain't you, Lolita? You're really getting something now, ain't you? Yes. So this is, Alexander the Great don't go down there to 331 BC. When we look at it in Genesis 41 and 45, we're looking at 1750 BC. So this is 1,300 years before Alexander the Great enters into Egypt. We're looking at 1715 BC. This is 1,400 years before Alexander the Great enters into Egypt. 1,300 years before Alexander enters to Egypt, it's called On. We have verse number 45. Genesis 41:45. Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah. He gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, or priest of who? Priest of On, priest of Heliopolis. Priest of On, priest of Heliopolis, worshiping who? Worshiping who?
Atum.
Worshiping, what they worshiping what?
The Indian.
The Ennead. Worshiping 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 Atum, Shu, Tef, Nut, Geb, Nut, or Nut, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, and Set. So what happened? What happened here? What we're looking at? What happened? Do you know what happened? Can you tell me what happened, Lolita? What happened?
They attributed.
Thank you very much. That's all I wanted you to hear you say. What happened is Pharaoh, Potiphar, priest of On, attributed, assigned, said creation resulted from, was produced by Atum, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, Nut, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, and Seth. As while Joseph is there, I wish I had a witness. This is how dumb people is. This is how dumb people is. This is how dumb people is. While Joseph is there, they are attributing all of the characteristics, all of the work, creation, and the qualities of God to these gods, but it's Joseph that's running everything.
Yeah.
Everybody going to Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph second in command.
Well, he running everything.
They think if they running something, they are all the time, God is still in control. What is that called?
Sovereignty.
Amen.
Sovereignty of God.
Amen. See, now you're going to understand, because let me tell you what happens, Carolyn. This is what happens. Let me tell you what happens with you guys. When I begin to teach on a different subject, y'all forget the qualities, the characteristics, and attributes of God. See, nobody thought about that when I was teaching it. Y'all don't think that. So y'all, because y'all focus on one thing. So by you focusing on one thing, you can't understand the subject that's being presented to you. God is still sovereign. I don't care what's going on in the world. I don't care what's going on in Genesis. I don't care what Mizraim is doing. I don't care what he thinks. God is still sovereign. What's going on with Mizraim, that is the Egyptians, which will include Pharaoh and Potiphar, priest of On, they have a reprobate mind. God is not revealing nothing to them. God is not telling nothing to them. Because we know that when we get to the book of Exodus, when he brings them out of Exodus, he turns Pharaoh over to a reprobate mind. Pharaoh has a reprobate mind. Potiphar, priest of On, has a reprobate mind. The only one that doesn't have a reprobate mind in Egypt is Joseph. Joseph is running everything. Joseph is running everything. It says, and Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah. He gave him, it says revealer of secret things. That's what it means. The revealer of secret things of who? God. You best believe. So they didn't know. So it was the only revealer that was in Egypt was Joseph. Amen. They got all of these gods surmounted, all of these gods pictured and built up all over Egypt. And none of them the gods can tell them nothing. You got all them thoughts in that, you got all them thoughts and all these characteristics and qualities in you. And you still dumb and they still don't tell you nothing. Human reason is stupid. Human reason knows nothing. And that's what our problem is. We pride ourselves in human reason. We believe our human reason creates itself. We believe our human reason is a creator. And all the thoughts that passes through our mind is Shu, Tefnu, Geb, Nut, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, Seth. Those are your thoughts. That's what those are. Those are your thoughts. That's what they are. You is the God. Your thoughts, that's your imagination, is Shu, Tefnu, Geb, Nub, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, and Seth. God is the revealer of all things, not your mind. Your mind don't reveal nothing to you at all. Your mind is deceitful above all things, desperately wicked, and you don't even know it until the revealer of secrets reveal to you what's in your mind. And that's what people hate, when their mind is showed to them.
Amen.
You fight for your mind. You fight for your thoughts. Because you think you are tuned. You think you created yourself. So you want to attribute all the characteristics and the quality and works of God to you. They got all these gods down there, and Joseph is the only one who has revelation. Joseph didn't pay attention to none of them gods probably at all. He is the second in command. So we look at verse number, let's look at verse, we want to look at verse number 14. I want to read this. We want to look at Genesis 41:14. So I want to read this because we got to understand this so we can see how ignorant they were. This is good. This is good. So we had 41:14, right?
Yes. Amen.
Right?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we're going to look at 41:1. And we're going to deal with a few of these. We're going to see, can we see at least one or two of these gods, okay?
Okay.
So we're at 41:1. It says, and it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed. And behold, he stood by the river. What river is he standing by, Cleo?
Here would be.
What river is he standing by, Cleo? Carol, what?
Nile.
Thank you very much. What are you doing? I just asked you a simple question. You panic. You going on? Just ask you a simple question. How we know he's standing by the Nile, Carol?
Because the Nile River is on the...
Why do we, now she gone. How do we know he's standing by the Nile?
It says right here, it's still by the Nile. Also, still by the river.
How we know he's standing by the Nile River?
Because the Nile River runs through Egypt.
Thank you. He in Egypt. Like, y'all know deep question. That's y'all. Y'all acting like what Pharaoh at?
He's in Egypt.
What river he standing by? The Nile. Oh, you know the same. I don't know what y'all be trying to believe. I'm trying to acclimate your mind and get a picture in your mind so you can see this. So he's standing by the Nile River. You gotta remember, he believes he's a god. Let me give you my historian back here. Historian. The 3 great, I'm not you, Mr. Anyway, my historian. Historian. The 3 great realities in Egypt.
Yes, sir.
Sun, Nile River, Pharaoh down there worshiping his God. The 3 great realities in Egypt. Tell them again, historian.
The Nile River,
The Nile River,
Sun,
the sun,
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh down there worshiping.
Amen.
I'm trying to get y'all a picture. Pharaoh down at the river. He don't have a drink. So he down at the river. So he down at the Nile River. Three great realities. Pharaoh, the sun, the Nile River, and Pharaoh. Trying to get this in you. This is good. It came, and this is what's going on. These are the gods that is being worshipped. These are the gods that is being worshipped. At this time, that picture goes directly with this. Picture goes directly with this. All right. Came to pass at the end of 2 full years, Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat flesh that fed in the meadow. Hathor. Hathor. That's the cow. That's Hathor. Right?
Yes.
Right? That's Hathor, right? Think of Hathor right there. Fat fed. Right?
Yes.
All right. He had a dream. Behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river. Out of the what? Out of the Nile River. Out of the Nile River. What river? The Nile.
Now.
Ill-favored, lean flesh stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. Right?
Right.
And the ill-favored and lean flesh kine did eat up the 7 well-favored fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke. Uh-oh, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. My God's been ate up. My God's been ate up. Hello? He slept. Uh-oh. And dreamed, watch out now, the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. Give me a God, Carol. Give me a God, Carol.
Gab.
Gab! You got it, baby. You got it. That's the earth. The corn comes up out of the earth. Now that's supposed to be a picture of Osiris. We're going to go through all of this. That's why they painted them green sometimes. I'm sure you, what else can he believe? He can't believe nothing else. Ain't nothing being revealed to him. So every time he sees something, it's got to be a picture of a God that's already there in Egypt. Ain't nobody revealed nothing to him. The only thing he knows is what he don't see in the made in Egypt. So every time something come up, he's going to attribute it and give it to his God. You feel me what I'm saying? Every time something arises, the only thing that he can attribute to, assign it to, is one of his gods. That's the only thing he can assign it to. Joseph is the revealer of secrets. He ain't none revealer. He gonna go to Joseph and ask Joseph to tell him what the dream means. Can't nobody tell him what the dream means. Nobody can tell him what the dream means but Joseph. So now he assigned that when he see the stalks to Gil and Osiris. That's all he knows. That's all he knows. That's all he knows, and that's all you know. Only thing you can assign it to is what you know already, nothing else. You got to have an outside source to reveal it to you. You got to have an outside source to come to reveal it to you what's going on, right?
Yes.
Right? Right?
Yes.
Right? Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to the book of Job, Carol. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to the book of Job, Bob. Let's go to the book of Job. We want to go to the book of Job, Bob. And we want to go to the book of Job, Bob. We want to go to the book of Job, Bob. And we want to go to Job. And we're going to go to Job. We're going to go to Job 33, We want to go to Job 33, Teach you something, Hello,
Yes, teach.
Teach?
Yeah.
All right. You ready, y'all?
Amen.
You ready, y'all?
He's a man.
You ready, y'all?
Ready?
You ready, y'all?
I'm ready.
Well, chapter 33. We there, y'all?
Yep.
It says, wherefore Job, I pray thee, hear my speech, young preacher Elihu, hearken to all my words. Behold, now I have opened my mouth, my tongue have spoken in my mouth. My words shall be of the uprightness of my heart, my lips shall utter knowledge clearly. The Spirit of God hath made me, the breath of the Almighty hath given me life. if you can answer me, talking to Job, Job, if you can answer me, set your words in order before me, stand up. Behold, I am according to your wish or your desire in God's place. Job wanted to talk to God. Job wanted to speak to God, Aaron. Job wanted to speak to God. Job wanted to speak to God and present his case to God personally. Can't do that. So what God does is God sent a representative of himself in the person of Elihu, the young preacher. He said, all right, Job, you want to talk to God? I am in the place of God. God ain't going to talk to you. That's what our problem is. You think God ain't told us something, God ain't told you nothing. God ain't going to talk to him. He just tell you that. I'm going to read it very slow again. Behold, I am according to your desire. This is what you wanted in God's place. I also am formed out of the clay. So I don't want you to think that I'm something. I don't want you to think that I'm something that I'm not. I'm formed out of the clay, but I'm in God's place. I'm formed out of the clay, but I am in God's place. You don't rebuke to tell a preacher nothing.
No. Amen.
You don't never try to correct a preacher. I'm in God's place. You don't rebuke and correct and tell a preacher nothing. Nothing. I am in God's place. I don't answer to nobody in here. No one. I answer to no one in here.
Amen.
At no time. You don't bring no accusation against me. At no time. You out of your place. You need to stay in your place. Like I taught you in Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 4. The problem is you leave your place out when you need to stay in your place. You don't rebuke the preacher. There's no scripture in the Bible where it tells you to rebuke the preacher.
Amen.
It's not there. You're not going to find it. Behold, I am according to your wish in God's place. I also am formed out of the clay. Behold, my terror shall not make you afraid, neither shall my hand be heavy upon you. Surely you have spoken in my hearing. I have heard the voice of your words saying, I heard you say this, Job. I am clean, without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. And then I gave y'all this dinner. Y'all got it? It's right there in your margin if you don't know. It's right there in your margin. You see, you don't got it highlighted in circle. I told you it's in your margin. You need to have that in orange. You got all that thing. You need to take it and put it in there. Everywhere Job said he was righteous is in your margin if you got a Schofield Bible. He said it in Job 9, 17, 10, 7, 11, 4, 16, 17, 23, 10, 11, 27, 5, 29, 14, 31, 1 and 1. Every place that Job said he is righteous is in your margin. You need to take it and highlight it in orange. Nobody is listening to me. Highlight it in orange. It's H. Job 9, 17, 10, 7, 11, 4, 16, 17, 23, 10, and 11, 27, 5, 29, 14, 31, and 1. Every one of those places Job said, I am innocent. Every one of those places. Every one of those places. I got it. Y'all go ahead and sit down. Suppose that was highlighted with them. I know what the problem is. Handwriting, give it back to me. Can't have it. That's for every place in the margin. Do everybody know what a margin is?
Yes.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yes.
Say, I'm not going to be waiting on you more.
Amen.
Move on. All right. That's every place in Job where Job said, I am clean without transgression. You need to read every one of them too. You think you clean without transgression, you think you innocent. Anytime you offer up a defense for yourself, you think you clean and you think you are without transgression. It's hard for people to understand that. You think every thought that comes in their mind, everything they do is right. Everything you do is wrong. Everything.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
But when you got a mind of a self-righteous Pharisee, you think everything, you think you don't have no transgression, you think you clean, you think you innocent. Because you think everything you do is right. Behold, he found causes against me. He count me for his enemy. That what Job said? He tell me what Job said. This is what Job said. He put my feet in the stocks, he marked my paths. This is what Job said about me. He said, behold, in this, he said, Job, in this, in what you said and what you think, you are not right. You ain't never right. Time you try to defend yourself, you wrong. You ain't never right about nothing. Never in your life is you right about anything. Never, Cleo. You ain't never been right. You ain't never did nothing right. Now, I preach this and I teach this, and many people will still think that they do one small thing right. You don't do nothing right. You ain't never innocent. You ain't never innocent. Never. Will, behold, in this you are not right. Look what he said. Now I will answer you that God is greater than anything. God is greater than who? God is greater than who? God is greater than who? Y'all don't lost all your thought pattern. You read off. God is greater than Pharaoh. God is greater than the man of Mizraim and Egypt. It's not God. God is greater than the man. Those are not gods. That is their imagination. Ronnie, do you understand? Yes. That's their mind. In their mind, they say that the creation is an Indian egg. In their mind, they say the creation, Mizraim, Egypt, say the creation, Pharaoh, Potiphar, priest of On, say the creation is an Indian egg. So God is greater than the mind of Pharaoh, Potiphar, priest of On. God is greater than Potiphar, priest of On, and God is greater than Pharaoh. What's the three great realities in Egypt, historian? God is greater than Atum, the son that comes out of the man of Potiphar. God is greater than the man of Potiphar who said the Nile River is Hathor, a god. God is greater than Potiphar, priest of On, who say Pharaoh is divine. Pharaoh is a man. Nile River is water that's created by God. The sun is the light of the day created by God. So God is greater than the man of Mizraim, Egypt, Egyptians. Pharaoh is in Egypt. Potiphar is in Egypt. They are the lineage of Ham. They are called Egyptians. And this Indian egg, which we are looking at, comes out of the mind of the Egyptians. God is greater than Atum, that comes out of the mind of the Egyptians. God is greater than Shu, that comes out of the mind of the Egyptians. God is greater than Tefnut, that comes out of the mind of the Egyptian. God is greater than Gael. He made Gael, not Gael, the earth. Be greater than Shu, not Shu, the sky. God created the sky. God created moisture.
Yes, he did.
God is greater than Nut. Who is Nut? Who is Nut? Who is Nut? So you ain't gonna even look at your book, you guess it. The sky. Nut in the sky. God is greater than that, isn't he?
Yes.
He is.
God is greater than Isis. God is greater than Osiris. God is greater than Nephthys. God is greater than Seth. God is greater than the child of Isis and Osiris Horus. God is greater than the child of Osiris Nephthys and Anubis. God is greater than that.
Amen.
God is greater than, to nail this all down, God is greater than Ham. God is greater than the second son of Ham, Mizraim. See, maybe that despair, maybe you truly really thought them was gods for real. I hope not.
Amen.
Those are pictures that comes out of man's mind.
Amen.
God is greater than man. God is greater than the mind of man. You understand, right? What did Job say? 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 I'm talking to all of y'all. What?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
Where did that come from?
Out of his mind.
God is greater than Job's mind.
Amen.
Yes.
In Job's mind, Job is what? Look at your Bible. In Job's mind, Job is what?
Innocent, neither is there iniquity in him.
Thank you. In Job's mind,
He is clean without
in
transgression.
Job's mind, Job is clean without transgression. In Job's mind, Job is what?
Innocent.
In Job's mind, ain't no iniquity in him. So y'all can understand. Now I'm gonna do it again. In Job's mind, in his life, what he believed about himself, right?
Right.
Is that he's clean without transgression.
Yes.
Job believed that he is innocent in his mind.
Amen.
Job believed that there is no iniquity in him. You believe that about yourself too when you rebuke and reprove, corrected, and instructed. You believe that about yourself too. And the first thing you're going to start to do is do like Job and start talking about what you did and what you didn't do and what you did do when the preacher come and rebuke you. You can't turn around and rebuke the preacher when the preacher rebuked you up. Can't correct the preacher when he tells you your faults, where you wrong at. Can't turn around and start telling the preacher, you did, and you didn't do, and you didn't do this, preacher, you supposed to do. You don't turn around and tell the preacher nothing. You don't rebuke the preacher. Job turned around and said, "What you want to know? You want to hear from God? Let me tell you, Job, you ain't innocent." That's the mind. In your mind, you is. In your mind, you ain't got no transgression. In your mind. So in their mind, they say our mind is greater than God. We're going to take his qualities daily. That's what I'm trying to do. Because when I go through this, now you're going to understand it better. Everything that God created, James Brown, everything God did, they took all the work, all the characteristics, all the creation, and they assigned it to their mind. They assigned it to their mind. They have their own interpretation. We on one accord? Yes. We're talking about Pharaoh's dream. Now don't forget. And we talked about Pharaoh, Potiphar, priest on, okay? Don't forget, this applies here too. Like I told y'all at the beginning, what y'all do is y'all lose y'all subject. Y'all forget everything we start off with. Hello? Amen. We're still talking about this. I went over here, y'all forgot everything I had told y'all in the beginning. As soon as I got over here, y'all forgot it. Y'all forget everything. God is greater than Mizraim. God is greater than Mizraim. Who is Mizraim, huh? Who is Mizraim? Who is Mizraim, huh? Who is Mizraim, Cleo? Who is Mizraim? Who is Mizraim, Van? Who is Mizraim? Who is Mizraim? Mizraim, no, not. Mizraim. Who is Mizraim?
Ham.
Thank you very much. He the son of Ham. Mizraim is the second son of Ham. He's called Mizraim. Genesis 10:6. Genesis 10:6. Genesis 10:6. Genesis chapter 10, verse number 6. Genesis 10:6.
Amen.
Read, Carolyn, Genesis 10:6.
And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim.
Thank you very much. Mizraim. Who are Mizraim?
Mizraim are
Who are Mizraim, Carolyn?
The Egyptians.
Thank you very much. That dude's still on there. M-I, how you spell that, Carolyn? M-I what?
Z-R-A-I-M.
Thank you very much. I was giving you the other name, so I'm gonna put it right where they got in the Bible. Mizraim, that's plural. They are called Egyptians, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
But Mizraim is the name, isn't it?
yes.
Thank you. You got Cush, and you got Mizraim. When you got Cush, then you call them Cushites, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, then you got Foot, don't you?
Yes.
Then you got Canaan, what you call them Canaanites, because they out of Canaan, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. We don't want to go.
Yes.
We understand it?
Yes.
Thank you. It's Mizraim. So, that's the mind of Mizraim. We understand? That's what that is. All we looking at is what was in all we looking at is what was in Pharaoh and Potiphar, priest of our mind. That was in their mind. Was that in Joseph's mind?
No.
No, that wasn't in Joseph's mind. It ain't in Joseph's mind.
Because he was sold over there.
That ain't got nothing to do with him being sold over there, man. No, it don't. It's just that God ain't got that in his mind. Joseph over there, and he's saying the same thing they said. He's been over there for a long time. But is it in his mind? No, it's not in his mind.
Okay.
He can see it with his eyes, but it's not in his mind. Them is not his thoughts.
Amen.
That was how Daniel was.
Preach! That's how you should be.
Amen.
When you live in your mind, that's when you start doing stupid things. When you live in your mind, what do you say, Carolyn? When you live in your mind, what do you say,
I
Carolyn?
am clean
Come on.
without transgression.
Come on,
I am innocent.
come on.
Neither is there iniquity in me.
That's what you say when you live in your mind.
Amen.
When you in your mind, them your thoughts. Them his gods, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Them his gods. What do he worship? What do he worship? Look, I made that verse.
himself.
No, I'm at the verse. Wait a minute. What do he worship in that verse? Y'all don't know. He worshiped his cleanness.
Amen.
He worshiped his thoughts of cleanness. He worshiped his thoughts of innocency. He worshiped his thoughts of righteousness. He worshiped in his, thank you. He's self-righteous. He worshiped it, I'm clean. That's his cleanliness. That's in his mind. So he worshiped his idea of cleanliness, doesn't he? Yes, he does. He worshiped his idea of innocence, right? He worshiped his idea of righteousness, doesn't he?
Yes,
Because he said it's not in me.
what he said.
He
Amen.
said, let me tell you how I am. I know myself deadly.
He said,
He said, I know me. You don't know me. How you going to tell me about me? You don't know me. Yes, I do. God revealed you to me.
Amen.
How you going to check the preacher? God revealed you to me, Carol. Tell me to give you a message. You don't come back and check me. How? Pharaoh don't got no understanding of what's going on, do it.
No, we don't.
Where till we get over here? Do you understand how things are human reason is?
Yes, it's
You make you get something about yourself that ain't there. You got that generic. You get some revelation.
Yes.
If I told you as we go through this, you're gonna see it. This don't even exist, do it?
No.
What hell? Cleanness don't exist in Job.
No.
Do it. Innocency don't exist in Job. Do it. Righteousness do not exist in Job. He in his imagination, isn't he? Thank you very much. You in your mind, what you think about yourself. And Joseph basing everything on works, ain't he? Whoa! You don't think what he did. Huh? I can show you he based everything on what he did. Job did it. He said, I can go in the book of the dead. In the book of the dead. And Job, y'all do know Job is the oldest book in the Bible. If you didn't know it. Job is the oldest book in the Bible. Look at the date. That was 1500. Job is the oldest book in the Bible. Job is the oldest book in the Bible. Look at the date. No, you already had Job. Look at your date. It's 15, 20 BC. Job is oldest. It's back in the time of Pharaoh. Okay? In the book of the dead, when they went to the hall of judgment, I'm going to show you how relevant Job and Egypt is. In the book of the dead, when they went to the great hall of judgment, turn your Bible. I'm going to show you. Turn your Bible. I'm going to show you how relevant it is. Go to Job 31. Go to Job 31. Charles, I'm going to show you this too. Listen to this. Job 31. This is the book of the dead. All right. It says here. It says, the following words shall be said by the steward of the keeper of the seal. Now they go into the great judgment. It's the person that died. This is called the book of the dead. And now he's going through the judgment hall. He's getting ready to be judged. I'm going to show you that later. But I want to read this. He's getting ready to be judged. And I'm probably going to read this again. It says, the following words shall be said by the steward of the keeper of the seal, whose word is true when he comes forth to the hall. It's called the hall of judgment. He died, now he got to be judged. This is what Mizraim called it, the hall of judgment. Well, if you were going through the hall of judgment, Horus and Anubis got to be there. Okay? That's underwear, right?
Yes.
And that's what it's, I mean, Horus or Osiris, either one, whatever name you're going to call, got to be there. So it says, the hall of Ma'atai, so that he may be separated from every sin which he hath committed, and may behold the faces of the gods. This is the soul passing through death. You're going through the hall of judgment. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to read this and I'm going to show you that Job knew about this too. It's 1500 BC. The Osiris knew, whose word is truth, said, homage to thee, O great God, Lord of Ma'atai. I have come unto thee, O my Lord. I have brought myself hither that I may behold your beauties. I know you. I know your name. I know the names of the 42 gods who live with you. In this hall of Ma'atai, who live by keeping ward over sinners and who feed upon their blood, on the day when the conscience of men are reckoned up in the presence of the God Omnifer. In truth, your name is Retag, Murtai, Neptai, Ma'atai. I ain't going to tell you what that means yet. I'll be back in a few minutes. Come back in and tell you what that means. I want you to know now. Say, in truth, I have come unto thee. I have brought Ma'atai truth to thee. I have done away sin for you. I have not committed sins against men. I have not opposed my family and kinfolks. I have not acted fraudulently or deceitfully in deceit of truth. What is this person saying? What is this person saying?
I am clean.
What is this person saying, Carolyn?
I am clean, I am innocent, I have no...
Clean without transgression. I am
No
innocent,
iniquity found.
neither
Mama should read the scripture. I want you to look at the scripture. I don't want you to say it. That's why I asked Carolyn. But she went to scripture. Y'all never go to the scripture. What is this person saying, Carolyn?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
Thank you very much. This person has said, I have not committed sins against me. What did that person just say, Carolyn?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity.
This person said, I have not opposed my family and kinfolk. What did the person just say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there
Well,
iniquity.
tell me, Joe, one word that didn't know these people. I have not what?
Ain't that just like saying, I am God?
Don't worry. You got it. You got it. You got it. What do the, hey man, what do the black man believe about himself out of Africa?
Yeah.
Doggone right, he believes he's a god and a king. That's what they teach. That's what they believe over there.
The 5% is,
Preach!
yeah.
You got it. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
And they worship the earth.
You best believe it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking. You understand what I'm saying?
Go out there and worship.
I know it. I know it. I know it.
That explains that attitude they have.
Now you listen. The next one. I have not known men who were of no account. What did they just say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
I have not wrought evil. What did they say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
I have not made it to be the first consideration daily that unnecessary. What did they say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
This is an Egyptian soul that's passing through the hall of justice, speaking to Ma'atai truth. And this soul says, I have not brought forward my name for dignities. What did he say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
I have not attempted to direct servants. I have not belittled God. What did he just say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
I have not defrauded the humble man of his property. What did he just say, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
Turn to Job 31.
Amen.
Job, this is a picture of Job walking through the hall of judgment. Job 31. You with me?
Amen.
I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? This is Job passing through the hall of judgment, just like the Egyptians. Why? For what portion of God is there for me above? What inheritance of the Almighty from on high? Is not destruction to the wicked and strange punishment to the workers of iniquity? Doeth not he see my ways and count all my steps? If I have walked with vanity, or if my foot have hasted to deceit, let me be weighed in even balances. Job was well acquainted with this. Let me see, can I show you? I want to show you something. Job was well acquainted with this. Let me see, can I find that picture? This is when you pass it through the hall of judgment. You ready?
Yes.
There you go right there. That's what they would say when they pass through the hall of judgment. They pass it through the hall of judgment, and all of their deeds that they have done on earth is being weighed. So as they, you see, because I told you numbers had to be there, don't you see?
Yep.
And so as they're passing through the hall of judgment, this is what they are saying. So Job is passing, called himself, quote, passing through the hall of judgment in Job 31. So what he's saying to God is, listen, verse number 6, let me be weighed in an even balance that God might know mine what?
Integrity.
If my step have turned out of the way, my heart walk after my eyes, if any blot have cleaved to my hands, then let me sow and let another eat, let my offspring be rooted out. If my heart have been deceived by woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife cry unto another, let others bow down upon her, for this is a heinous crime, yet it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For it is a fire that consumes to destruction and would root out all my increase. If I did despise the cause of my manservant or my maidservant when they contended with me. That's what he just said in the book of the dead. He just said that in the book of the dead, didn't he?
Yes.
He said, I have not attempted to direct my servants. I have not belittled God. That's what he just said. If I despise the cause of my manservant or my manservant when they contend with me, what then shall I do? When God rise up, when he visits, what shall I answer him? Do not he that made me in the womb make him, and did not one fashion us in the womb? If I have withheld the poor from their desire, he says in here, I have not vilified a slave to his master. I have not defrauded the gods of their cake offerings. I have not violated the times of offering the chosen meat offering. I have not driven away the cattle of the estates of God. I have not turned back the God in his appearance. I am pure. I am pure.
Without transgression, I am innocent.
Tell me Job didn't know. Don't tell me Job didn't know them Egyptians. Same thing. Don't tell me they didn't know God. What they have written is according to their mind, isn't it? And that's what I want you to understand. You do according to your mind. In your mind, you are clean. Your mind, you ain't got no, you ain't got no transgression. In your mind, you're innocent. And let me prove it to you. Because you trying to find occasion, God trying to find occasion against me. You don't see it as God, the first person you blame is the preacher.
Amen.
I'm in verse number 9, 33. I am clean without transgression, I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. Behold, he found occasions against me, he counted me for his enemy. He put my feet in the stocks, he marked all my paths. Behold, in you, in this Job, you are not right. I will answer you that God is greater than.
Amen.
God is greater than who?
Pharaoh.
God is greater than Pharaoh. Thank you, Lord leader. God is greater than Pharaoh. God is greater than the Nile River. God is greater than the sun. Now you understand what I'm saying? Because see, that is what Pharaoh said when he went through the hall of judgment. Pharaoh died. Pharaoh, I'm telling you what Job got it from. It's the similarity. That's what I want to show you, the similarity of the mind. Job understood a different way than they understood. But Job was upright before God. He was a worshiper of God, but they got similar mindsets, don't they? It's been revealed to Job, it ain't been revealed to them. Job don't get the characteristics and the attributes to his mind. He give it to God, but he think he's righteous. Well, everybody think they're righteous. Ham thought he was right. Everybody think they're right, don't they? Yes. And now what? Every one of you, when you met me, you was a Pharisee.
Yes. Yeah.
Every one of you, some of you still a Pharisee. You a self-righteous Pharisee when I met you. When you James Brown? Yes. When you Karen? When ain't you self-righteous? Definitely. You didn't think you was innocent or guilty then? No. You meet me, you a self-righteous Pharisee.
Everybody told me that.
You met me, you thought you was clean, without transgression, innocent, and ain't no iniquity in you.
Amen.
When I met you, you was like that. Some of you still is. Some men still sitting here, self-doggone righteous Pharisee. What did a Pharisee say? Thank God I'm not like this. Chance, give it time. This every day, yeah. This every day, this every day. When you met me, Ronnie, you was a self-righteous Pharisee. Yeah. Curly, when you was met me, you was a self-righteous. Nick, when you met me, you was a self-righteous Pharisee, man. You don't come in here born again. You don't come in here innocent. You don't come in here clean. You don't come in here without transgression. God is greater than Mizraim. God is greater than the mind, isn't he? God is greater than the mind. The man is the mind. Do y'all understand what? A man is his mind. That's his personality, is his mind.
Amen.
Hey, man, hey, son, what do Trump keep saying? What do Trump keep saying? What do Trump keep saying? What do Trump keep saying, Charles?
Oh, let me go to
What do Trump keep saying, Carol?
I am clean without transgression. I am innocent.
Yep.
Neither is there iniquity.
He said, ship be ship, man.
Yeah, he did.
He said he ain't did nothing.
That's what he said.
He said, no,
What did he say?
he said the media, he said the media is not crooked no more.
Fake.
He said the media is not fake no more.
It's corrupt.
It's corrupt. You know, took it to a higher level.
Everybody else is guilty.
Thank you! Everybody against him and his administration. That's how man is. That's according to his mind. Trump, God is greater than your mind, man. Do y'all understand? Now you understanding it. Job is going through the hall of judgment, and don't you see the balances?
Yes.
His heart, his understanding is being weighed. That's what's being weighed. Now go to balances. He said, God, and his heart is being weighed. They weighed your heart by a feather. If your heart was lighter than a feather, when they use a feather for the weight, your heart was lighter than a feather, then you passed the test. That's what that is a picture of. Wow.
There's some feathers down there on the weight.
Of course, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. Now, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to show you. And pass it through the hall of judgment. And that's what Job is doing. He's going through the hall of judgment with God. If I had did this, if I had did this, if I did that. So when the Egyptians went through the hall of judgment, this is what they put together. You know, don't nobody go through no doggone hall of judgment. Hell, when you die, you either in heaven or hell. You ain't passing through the hall. I did this and I did that, and I didn't do this. You ain't passing through no, but that was in your mind. That's what's in Job's mind.
Go through the Supreme Court.
Going to the great white throne judgment after you resurrect.
All right. Amen.
After God put that soul back with that body,
Yes.
then you go to a great white throne judgment. You ain't passing through. You ain't going through nothing, nobody. Well, I didn't do this. And you confess the sin. You don't confess it when you leave here. You're going to hell.
Amen.
Calls to confess it. Because everybody think they're clean, without transgression, innocent, and no iniquity is in them. A lot of these verses y'all don't forget. So you know they don't know because the one doesn't even reveal to them. So according to them, all their ancestors, all the pharaohs went through the hall of judgment and did what I read in the book. All the Egyptians passed through the hall of judgment and did what I did and did what I read in the book of the dead. So Potiphar, priest of On, he believed that he would go through the hall of judgment and confess his sin. He speak to Ma'atai, truth, saying what he did and what he did not do. Right? What the Jew did his before he leave and when he went to go take his offering, didn't he? Yeah. Didn't he? Yes. Yes, he did. That's what the Jew did in Luke 18. Right? Yes, he did. The Jew did it in Luke 18. The Pharisee did it in Luke 18. Don't let everybody celebrate the Pharisee. There's no 18:9. And he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in what?
Themselves.
I wish I had a witness. To certain. I told you, you still got certain in here who trust in themselves that they were righteous and what?
Despise others.
Two men went up to the temple to pray. One a Pharisee, the other one a tax collector. The most wickedest person it was in Jerusalem. They hated the tax collector because when I come to collect taxes, you pay your tax up, you pay 10%. I put 5% on it. That means you pay 15%. 10% going wrong, 5% going in my pocket. You pay it. You ain't had no choice. You either pay it or you go
To jail.
Thank you very much. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with who?
Himself.
Thank you very much. God, He didn't say Father.
No, God.
God, arrogant as hell. That's how some of us is, arrogant. God, I thank you that I'm not.
As other means are.
I'm not an extortionist, unjust, adulterer, even as this dude standing next to me. This man ain't even on, his man ain't on no repentance.
No.
This man ain't on no forgiveness.
No.
All this man is on is justifying himself, declaring himself not guilty. This is a picture of him passing through the hall of judgment. All he interested in is justifying himself. That's it. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican standing afar would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God be merciful unto me.
He said
I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself shall be what? He that what? That's what a self-righteous Pharisee like. He don't have no humility at all. It's not in him. It's not in him at all. It's none there. Even if he finds out he is wrong, that dog with a self-righteous Pharisee still ain't gonna come back and tell the truth and say, you know what, I was wrong. Because why? Can't see, blind. God don't blind him to himself. Let's go to 33. So I can be looking at Pharaoh's dream, right?
Yes.
All right. So we at verse number 12. Behold, in this you are not just. I will ask you that God is greater than Mizraim, right?
Yes.
Greater than Pharaoh. And he's greater than Potiphar, priest of On. He's greater than Alexander the Great, who changed the name from On to Heliopolis. Hey, greater than man. You're not your son, God, Pharaoh, neither is you. Alexander the Great. And you not no priest, Potiphar. Potiphar wasn't a priest. He was a priest of On, which means he wasn't a priest of God. He wasn't a priest. God's the only one that can make you a priest. They had their own priesthood. What you say, Ronnie?
It's like Jeroboam.
What you say, Ronnie?
It's like Jeroboam.
Jesus didn't make him a priest. Book of Hebrews chapter 7, no man take this honor upon himself. Jesus made a priest after order of Melchizedek.
So did Potiphar make himself a reputation?
Yes, he did. All of them. Amen. That's what you got to see. They living by human reason. Y'all should see it. That's what I'm telling y'all, though. When you read this, you got to have all that in your mind, what I've been teaching. Potiphar, who is his cousin in the bondage of the wheel?
Erasmus.
Running the map. Is the Pope man like Potiphar? Is the Pope man like Erasmus? Yeah! Is the Pope man like a Farrakhan?
Yes.
Is the Pope man, is Farrakhan and Potiphar man alike?
Yes.
Yeah! The human reason is human reason, y'all.
Thomas Paine.
What?
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine. Human reason is human reason.
Amen. Those in the flat.
Preach!
You know what, Nancy Pelosi, is that her name?
Yeah.
She mentioned Thomas Paine's name when they was talking about impeaching
Trump.
Trump.
She did.
She mentioned Thomas Paine.
That's the man. Thomas Paine, the man. Thomas Paine is the man. Yep, Thomas Paine is the man. Why you think I gave y'all the book? That's the best one you can get on the market. It's going to come to human reason. By the grace of God, not by me doing the same. By the grace of God, he gave us that book. Not by Dennis. He said that's the best one out there in human reason. That's why I want to teach you from the best. We nail it down. Did Thomas Paine say, I am clean without transgression? I have iniquity in me?
Yeah.
Did Thomas Jefferson say?
Yes.
George Washington say?
Yes.
Barack Obama say?
Yes.
You say it?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Nothing.
The Pharisees say it?
Yes.
Human reason is human reason. Did Job say it?
Yes.
He hid it said in his bosom. You can read that over here. Well, he said over here in 31:33. Look at 31:33. Let's look at 31. Look at 31:34. I mean 31:24. Let's look at 31:19. Here we go. If I have seen any perish for want of clothing, if any poor without covering, if his lungs have not blessed me, if he were not warmed with the fleece of my sheep, if I have lifted up my hand against the fathers when I saw my help in the gate, then let my arm fall off. Why did Job help? Why did Job help the fatherless at the gate? I'm going to see if anybody know the answer. Why did Job help the fatherless at the gate? All right, y'all don't know, right? Why did Job help the fatherless at the gate?
Is it, you had told us about the.
Why did Job help the fatherless at the
Because they
gate?
were poor?
No. I said, why? What was the cause? Why did Job help the fatherless? See, you still don't understand, because the correct answer is Job didn't help the fatherless at the gate. God worked through Job to help the fatherless at the gate. That's what I be wanting y'all to understand.
Okay.
He trying to take credit.
What you say?
He was trying to take credit.
Exactly right. He was trying to take credit for all the work that God did through him. Job ain't did nothing. Job ain't helped no fatherless at the gate. God worked through Job to help the fatherless at the gate and made sure he had enough for him, his wife, his 7 children, his 3 daughters, and his servants. Preach, Ronnie! Lord have mercy! God gave him enough for his wife, his 7 sons, seven sons, right?
Yes.
3 daughters, and his servants. Hello? And the fatherless, and the widow. Hello? She's talking about if I. She's talking about if I. God did that through Job.
We don't do nothing.
No, you don't do nothing. I got a handout for you tomorrow to show.
Amen.
I'm going to teach you tomorrow. You don't do nothing. And that's what our problem is here. We're a bunch of self-righteous Pharisees. We think we deserve something for what God did through us.
That ain't no lie.
Gotcha.
We think we want to get credit for it.
I did.
Look at Job 21. If I had lifted up my hand against the fathers when I saw my help in the gate, then let my arm fall. Yeah, Job, God did that through you, man. Only reason your damn arm ain't fell off is God did it through you, man. Let my arm fall off. Like you did something. See? Y'all getting something today. Don't get it's going to be a great teaching. And I tell you, God just showed us something here. This is going to be a great teaching. Maybe it's really going to help some of y'all to come out your imagination and make you really realize that you don't have to live in sin with nobody. You don't have to be afraid of no man. I'm serious.
Amen.
You don't have to feel nobody taking up from you, losing up. People don't want to be around you, don't want to be bothered with you. Hell with them. They did nothing for you. No way they make you think.
They have.
Wow. 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 Because see, when you understand like this, when they say, remember what I did to you, you will turn around and say, excuse me. You ain't did nothing for me. God did it through you and to prove to you that I'll need you. Goodbye.
Hold it over my head.
Preach, Ronnie. That doggone axe. Walking around and they got you like this. And you walk around like this. And you said they're going to chop your doggone head off. And you walk around now. They ain't walking on no eggshell, Karen. You walk around with your head like this because you scared they're going to drop that axe on you. They not your source. Your arm ain't falling off because God worked through you, Job. You know what Job forgot? Naked I came into the world. He forgot that. Imagination got going. Well, see, when you start going through trials and tribulations, your mind go. Your mind go. You wonder what's going on.
Yeah, you do.
What's going on? What is my iniquity, like it said in the book of Jeremiah. What I do? You think, Job, that you did this. That's what you think. God breaking that pride, breaking his understanding in you.
Yes, he is.
But Job think he did all this. That's what he said, didn't he?
Yes, he said,
Yep. Look what he said. If I lifted up my hand against the fathers when I saw my help in the gate, then let my arm fall off from the shoulder blade and my arm be broken from the bone. Job, if I had did that for you, would have.
Amen.
Probably wouldn't. I probably would have broken your arm. I probably would have killed you. But Ronnie, he gave him enough for his wife. He gave him enough for his 7 sons, his 3 daughters, and his servants. Job had more than enough. More than enough. He let my arm fall from my shoulder blade, my arm be broken from the bone. For destruction from God was a terror to me. Why do you think you did it? Hello? By reason of his highness, I could not endure. If I had made gold, my hope, or had said to find, he'd have to make gold and soap. He had too much of it. You are my confidence. If I rejoiced because my wealth was great, but Job, God gave it to you. Because my hand had gotten much. Oh! 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 No! We see what his problem was now. That's supposed to be an orange, man. You're supposed to hit that. He said, my hand had gotten well. What did he feel? God must have revealed Deuteronomy 8 to him yet, child. It is thee that it is God that giveth thee power to do what? So he can establish in his covenant, right?
Yes.
Oh, y'all got one on Job? There you go. Job don't broke every law in when he made that statement right there. If what? Because my hand, because my hand, hey, look. Ain't that's what we do?
Yes.
Do we rejoice because we get well?
Yes.
And say, my hand?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Amen.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Amen. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we do.
Happy on
They're going to do Deuteronomy 8 right there. Go to Deuteronomy 8.
so happy
You ain't lying, man. Look what I did. It's just like I told Lolita last night.
Yes, I do.
I told Lolita, Ronnie,
You talked to Lolita last night?
yeah, she finally answered the phone, Ronnie. And I told her what you said.
What do you think?
What do you think? I told you what Ronnie said. And Charles said, we've been trying to get in contact with you. You won't remember nothing. I'm going to stop talking to you. What's on that doggone, what you drink?
Right.
No, there goes birthday. Deuteronomy 8,
Amen.
verse number, look, Job didn't do this, Carolyn. Verse 18, read, Carolyn.
But you shall remember.
Job forgot it.
You can remember what the Lord does.
Job forgot it. Boy, when you stop going through trials and tribulations, boy, you forget everything.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yes, you do forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do forget. I don't care who you with. You stop.
Even on self.
You're like, what have I did? What I'm doing? Where's my nigga? Why did this happen to me? Because you have what, Carolyn?
You have.
You forgot.
Forgot.
Go ahead, read it.
But you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto your fathers, as it is this day.
So you need to go over there, you need to go back to Job 31 and 25 and put Deuteronomy 8:18. Job forgot being around. Then we get out there and we forget. My hand has gotten me this well.
Yeah.
Huh? Go back over there, Deuteronomy, and read that. So then you can read verse 17 too, right?
Yes. And you say in your
Now let's
heart,
go back up and read before that. We can start around about verse 13, though. Let me see.
14.
Go to the start.
Oh, yeah.
Read it.
Then your heart be lifted up.
Oh, you really read it.
It's 11.
11.
Yes.
No, 10. Start at 10, Carolyn, read.
When you hast eaten and art full,
Yes, sir.
then you shall bless the Lord your God
Yes, sir.
for the good land which he hath given you.
Gave it to Job, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Go ahead.
Beware that you forget not the Lord your God.
What did Pharaoh, Potiphar, Priscilla, and Egyptian, what Mizraim do? What did they do?
They forgot.
They never did nothing. They stole, didn't they?
Yes.
What did they steal from God?
His qualities,
There you go,
his
Carolyn.
characteristics.
Come on, Carolyn.
The work of.
And they resulted, said they resulted from them, and they signed it and put them into themselves, say, we the one who produced it. Thou shalt not steal. You don't steal the characteristics and attributes of God. You don't never go around and say you innocent. That's a characteristic and attribute of God. Never say you claim. That's a characteristic and an attribute of God. Never say you righteous. That's a characteristic and an attribute of God. When you go around talking about you innocent, you go talking about you did nothing. You clean. You just stole God's characteristics, attributes.
Another form of stealing.
Preach!
That's
called sacrilege.
Wide application, that is a wide.
You best believe it. You just stole. You just took that which did not belong to you, and you ain't have no permission to say that about yourself.
Amen.
We don't know what stealing is, do
No, we don't know.
I keep
No.
telling y'all, you really
No.
do not know what you are doing. I'm trying to teach y'all that. Human reason is very, very, very dangerous. And what really makes human reason dangerous is when you come in and you get a little knowledge of predestination and the sovereignty of God. Ooh, I'm elect and I'm chosen. All I got to do is confess my sin and praise. God already elect me and chose me, so I'm going in. That's everything. Preach! Preach! Better search the scriptures. Because in them, then you have eternal life. For they are they that testify of me. They don't testify of you. They witness of me. I'm the only clean one. I'm the only righteous one. I'm the only innocent one. No. No. Deep ain't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Tell me that. This is going to be real good stuff. Because we can tie all this in to God. We can take Job and we can read the whole book of Job with this right here. Job knew about it. He knew they was down there doing it. That's why he said, watch this. Look what Job said. Look what Job said. If I may find gold, my hope. Did Egypt make gold, they hope?
Yes.
Yes, they did. He just ain't not saying nothing, not to say nothing. I mean, go ahead and read that, Colonel. Then we go back. Come on, Colonel, read that. Start at verse 10. Come on, read it.
When you have eaten and art full, then you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land which he hath given you. Beware that you forget not the Lord your
That's
God,
what Job did, didn't he? Go ahead.
in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I commanded you this day.
Come on.
Lest when you has eaten and art full, and has built goodly houses, and dwelt therein, and when your herds and your flocks multiply,
Come on, Job.
and your silver and your gold is multiplied,
Come on.
and all that you has is multiplied,
Come on.
then your heart be lifted up,
Come on.
and you forget the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage,
Come on.
who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions, and drought, where there was no water, who brought you forth water out of a rock of flint, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers knew not.
Man ain't never did nothing for himself. Man ain't never did nothing for himself. Because we read this, Mixon, and we think, Mixon, when we read this, Lolita, what we think is, I went out and got me a job. So I didn't go through this right here. I went and applied, fill out the application, passed the test. We don't think like that. We don't think like God did that through us. We believe we went and done it. We believe we just woke up one day and said, this is what I'm going to do today. We don't see God working through man, through us, to to us. We don't see that. Read, Carol.
16, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers knew not, that he humble you.
Might is right.
That he might humble you, and that he might prove you to do thee good at your latter
And
end.
he didn't, did it? It didn't humble them, did it?
No, it
Just like it don't humble us.
No.
So it can't do you good in the latter end, rather you go to hell. You understand? So what he's doing to us right now is he's proving us, and he's humbling us, and he's showing us what's in us.
Oh, wow.
That's what he's doing now. So he can give us eternal life. That's what he's doing to us now. He feed us. He give us his word, the bread of life. To do what? To humble us. To prove us. To show us what's in us. But you don't rebuke me. You don't reprove me. You don't correct me because I am innocent. I am clean. I am without iniquity. Verse number 17, Carol.
And you say in your heart,
Uh-oh.
my power,
Uh-oh.
my might
Uh-oh.
of my hand
Uh-oh.
has gotten me this wealth.
Wait, that's the word Job used? Wait.
Yes, it did.
My hand had gotten much. The same word Job used. So we need to put 17 there. Come on.
Yes.
That's what we need to put there. That's what Job said. My hand had gotten much. Yeah. You know what he said? Gotten?
Yeah.
Gotten? Ain't gotten in there?
Yes.
It is. So we put 17 just behind 18. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do is put 17 behind 18. That's it.
Amen.
And to verify and let you know what you're doing, you underline the word God. You underline the word God in Job, and you underline gotten much and underline 17. That's where it said that. That's how you know where it said that.
Right. Amen.
You underline gotten much and gotten and verse 17. You understand?
Yes.
Read 17 again, Carol.
And you say in your heart, my power and my might of my hand hath gotten me this wealth.
Go over to 31 and 25 and read that, Carol.
31, 25. If I rejoice because my wealth was great, and because my hand had gotten much.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
18, Deuteronomy 8:18.
Your hand ain't getting much nothing, man.
Don't
Go
have
ahead.
But you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he that giveth you power to get wealth, and he may establish his covenant, which he swears unto your fathers, as it is this day.
All right, we go back to 26. Then Job said in 26, if I have beheld the sun when it shine, or the moon walking in its brightness, who did this? The Egyptians. My heart hath been secretly enticed, my mouth hath kissed my hand. This also, Jim Brown want to relate this to Roman Catholicism at this time. There wasn't even no Roman Catholicism at this time.
Religious.
You know Roman Catholicism in 1520. This also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge, for I should have denied the God that is what? If I rejoice at the destruction of him that hated me. Why he didn't rejoice at the destruction of him that hated me? Because God kept me, dude.
Amen.
Or lifted up myself when evil was found in him, neither have I suffered my mouth to sin by wishing a curse to his soul. If the men of my tabernacle said not, oh, that we had of his flesh, we cannot be satisfied. The stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my doors to the traveler. If I covered my transgressions as Adam by hiding my iniquity in my bosom. He did do it. He didn't know he did it, but he did it. When did he do it?
When
he
he
said it was
I am
ready.
clean. I am
Said it, man. When he said that, man, that's when you did it, Mr. Job. Did it?
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Yeah, he did it when he said it.
He said.
When he thought, his thoughts said it, didn't it? He might have never opened his mouth and said it literally,
Amen.
but he said it when he thought it, didn't he?
Yes.
That's what the young preacher told him, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he did. So let's go back and look at the dream. And then we go back and look at Pharaoh. I gotta hurry up now. I'm at Job 33, verse 12. Behold, in this you are not just. I will answer you that God is greater than Mizraim, God is greater than Job, God is greater than Pharaoh, God is greater than Potiphar, priest of On, right? God is greater than me. Why do you strive against God? Phew. For he give what?
Not
He can't explain nothing to you. He ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Sure ain't.
He ain't telling you nothing.
That's good to that.
So God speaking once and twice, man perceived it not, right?
Amen.
Say, man perceived it not, right? Who are we talking about?
Pharaoh.
We're talking about Pharaoh. Pharaoh. We're talking about Pharaoh's dream, right? Yes. All right, here we go. In a what? Dream. In a vision of the what?
Night.
Deep sleep fall upon men, and the slumber is upon the what? Open the ears of men, seal up their what? That Pharaoh may withdraw. That God may withdraw Pharaoh from his purpose and have pride from Pharaoh. He keep back Pharaoh's soul from the pit, Pharaoh's life from perishing by the what? Sword. Pharaoh was chasing also with pain upon Pharaoh's bed, and the multitude of Pharaoh's bones with strong what? Pain. So that Pharaoh life support food, his soul daily meat. Pharaoh's flesh is consumed away that it cannot be seen, his bones that were not seen stick out. Yet his soul draw nearer to the what? The whole different part of him, man. Yeah. His soul is drawing near to the grave. His life, he's losing life, Ronnie. He's dying. He's seeing this in a dream, man. He's seeing this in a dream. This is in a dream. He's asleep at night. He sees himself dying up. Amen. His soul draws near to the grave, his life to the destroyers. There'll be a messenger with him who towards the destroyers, Anubis and Horus. Osiris, right? Yes. So the destroyers right there. See the little monkey god up there, the sun god, all of them little destroyers. It's like it's drawing near to the destroyers. Hello?
Amen.
This is good, ain't it?
This is it.
If there be a messenger, what'd you say?
Joseph.
Thank you very much. There be a Joseph with him, and what? What was his name? Zerah, Peniel, revealer of secrets, interpreter of dreams. If there be a message with him, Joseph, the one among the what? Show to man his what? God is gracious unto him and said, deliver him from going down to the what? For I have found what? His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his what? He shall pray unto God. He will be favorable unto him. He shall see his face with joy. He will render unto man his what? Look upon men, and if any say what? Wow, that's what man's supposed to say. I have said when I talk to you. You ain't supposed to start trying to rebuke the doggone preaching and correct him. You're supposed to say what, right? Thank you very much. And perverted that which was what?
Right.
That word of God, and it did what? He will, other than that, you go to hell, right?
Yes.
Because he said if you don't do that, he will deliver his soul from going into the pit. If he don't do it, he going to the what? And his life shall, he will deliver his soul from going to the pit. And his life shall see the darkness, right? Yeah. But he got to do what? What do you got to say? Come on. And have perverted that which was right, and it profited me not when I perverted it. I twisted it. I got it wrong. I made it apply to me. I start saying I start saying I am innocent. I am clean without transgression. I don't have no iniquity. But when you do that, you pervert the word of God, don't you? Yes. Go right there. Lo, all these things work God's oftentimes were it. For what? What do you do that for? What does God do? Hello? Everybody got a Bible? Yes. And I said, what does God do? Verse 29, it got a comma at the end of man, not a period. Thank you. You guys still don't know how to read. So why does he do it? It's a comma there. It's not a period. Why does he do it?
To bring that soul from the pit to be enlightened with the light of living.
Thank you. There's got a period.
Amen.
Mark well, O Job, hearken unto me, hold your peace, and I will speak. If you have anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to declare you innocent and not guilty. And then you open your mouth. You really going to hell, ain't you? Job better not open his mouth. Hello? He better not.
He told him hold his peace.
He said, no, he told him right there. He said, hold your peace and I will speak. Mark well, O Job, hearken to me. Hold your peace, I will speak. If you have anything to say, answer me, speak. For I desire to declare you innocent and not guilty. You open your mouth, you hell-bound. Because you self-righteous, aren't you?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Job better not open his mouth. But a self-righteous Pharisee, what are you going to do?
Open his mouth.
You best believe he's going to open his mouth. I said, all right, then what you got to say? Well, little dude, we got to that's a self-damn Pharisee.
Wow.
Because he's seeking to do what? Thank you very much. There you go right there. I've talked this many times. Many just don't see it as applied to them. Right. If not, hearken unto me, hold your peace, and I shall teach you. Let's go look at Pharaoh's dream. Let's see Pharaoh's dream. So you can see all the gods in Pharaoh's dream, can't you? Down in Battle River, he's dreaming about the cows. That's all he kept dreaming about. You don't know nothing, do you? No, you don't know nothing. You don't understand what the dream is. Look at Israel like, you don't know nothing. He can't interpret it himself, can he? No, he can't interpret it himself. You don't even know what's going on, do you? Who gave him the dream? I wish I had a witness. Now you know what dreams come from. All dreams is that we dream today of something that happened to us in the past. You do know that.
Yes.
You dream about somebody you met in the past, something you did in the past, something may happen in the future. You might do something today, then God give you a dream tonight telling you need to repent, but you don't repent. Because all that was just, hey, Mitzi, you all that was just a dream. You know? I dreamed about a preacher last night. The preacher was telling me I was going to hell. That means you better repent. Let's read this. So now, ain't this money good?
Yeah.
Delicious, man. I'm telling you, this stuff is good, man.
Yeah.
So we have verse number 1, because we're going to go through this. Now, because we know the gods already, right? With 41 and 1. 41 and 1, church. 41 and 1, we're going back to Pharaoh's dream. I can't remember for you. You got to remember for yourself.
Amen.
You got to remember to teach. You got to remember to teach you. Remember for you too. Oh, man.
Amen.
Are you there?
Amen.
So it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that this was right after Pharaoh celebrated his birthday.
Oh, yes, sure
It was
is.
right after he celebrated his birthday. God going to kill him.
Verse 20.
Yeah, verse 20. It came to pass. The third day, which was Pharaoh's.
Birthday.
Right after his birthday. 2 years after his birthday. So it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. What river?
The Nile River.
Behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine. Them are cows, and fat flesh, and they fed in the meadow. Behold, 7 of the kine came up after them out of the Nile River. Ill-favored and lean flesh stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean flesh kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh did what? Slept, and he dreamed of the what?
Second time.
It's the second dream. 7 ears of corn came up, one stalk, ranking good. Behold, 7 thin ears and blasted with the east wind. East wind is always a judgment of God all through the scripture, Erica. Never forget east wind, Erica. Every time you see east wind, that's the judgment of God. Thing called first mention. When you go to the cemetery schools, they say the first time you find it mentioned in the Bible, it carries through all the way to the end. So every time you see east wind, it's the judgment of God. That was the Holy Spirit, was the judgment of God upon their flesh in the book of Acts, wasn't it? It was a rushing
Mighty wind.
east wind in the Old Testament is always picture of judgment, okay?
Amen.
The 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a what?
Dream.
It came to pass in the morning that his spirit was what?
Trouble.
He sent and called for all the magicians of what?
Egypt.
And all the wise men thereof. So who did he call for? Who did he call for? He called for the magicians and the wise men. So who did he call for? I ain't got all day, Mizraim. Call for the descendants of Ham. Call for the descendants of Ham. I ain't got all day, magicians, I mean. Come on, y'all need to pick up on this stuff. Y'all need to pick up this. Y'all really do. Told them, his dream, but there was none that could interpret. It was not one among them 1,000, was it? No, it was not. Wasn't nobody there to interpret for him. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in the ward, and the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. We dreamed a dream. In one night, I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us a young man. There go right there, Ak. He did not reveal nothing to the descendants of Ham. Right there, go right there. He revealed it to the descendants of Shem, Hebrews. Not a Jew. He said a Hebrew. I wish I had a witness, Charles. Joseph was not a Jew. What was Joseph? Hebrew. Best believe it. That's what Joseph wasn't no Jew. Judah ain't even born. He didn't come out of Judah. Did he?
Nope.
Not no son. Joseph ain't no son of Judah. Is it?
Nope.
Who was his dad?
His dad is Jacob.
Dad, Jacob.
I mean, Jacob.
You talking about that?
Judah is his brother. Judah is the one who took up for him.
Yeah.
And they put him in the pit. Y'all need to read that story and get familiar with it. Y'all heard what I said, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, now. There was there with us a young man, a Hebrew servant of the captain of the guard. We told him, he interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream. He did interpret. So, Zaphnath Paneah means interpreter of dreams, don't it?
Yeah.
And it came to pass as he what? Keep using the word what, y'all? Let's believe it. We need to define that, don't we? And next time you come here, I'll have it defined in your Bible. Hello? Amen. As he interpreted to us, so it was. Me, he restored it to my office, and him he what?
Hang.
Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, shaved himself, changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh, because he cannot come in front of Pharaoh with hair all over his body, because that's Pharaoh and them customs.
That's right, customs.
They shaved all the hair off their body, didn't they?
Yes.
And then they washed it.
Yes.
In front of everything. Joseph paid, cut all hair off the penis, everything, all the hair off their body, all up under their arm, and cut all the hair off their body. Because they was practicing cleanness. Gnats get in your little stuff, and you know, in Egypt, man, in the desert. Y'all don't understand because you live in the city. Y'all understand they in the desert, right, Rod? Yes. Y'all understand they in the desert. They cut all the hair off. You know you get gnats that hide in the hair.
Yes.
The women cut the hair off their pubic, they cut all their hair off. They have no hair on their body. They're practicing cleanliness. There wasn't no gnats all in their body. They live in the desert. You see, that's why God sent the gnats, because they thought because they had cut all the hair off their body, they didn't have no, they weren't going to have no gnats. But what did God send them? One of the judgments was the gnats. Pharaoh said it to Joseph. So Joseph is in the customs of Pharaoh now.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Can't come before Pharaoh like that. Cut all his hair off and everything. This is good. Y'all learning culture. Y'all learning a lot. That's why God told them don't shave their hair. Don't you do like the Egyptians. You clean yourself up. He told them don't shave your beard, cut your hair, and go bald. He said you make no baldness between your eyes. You cut all the eyebrows off. So he told them make no baldness between your eyes. That's all. Here Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can do what?
Interpret.
And I have heard say of you that you can understand. Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me.
Amen.
God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And this is another thing that messed men up. That's you, preacher. That's you saying that. That ain't from God. That's because you don't know no word. It's because you're a self-righteous Pharisee. Hello?
Amen.
What did Joseph say? Thank you very much.
God shall give.
What?
God shall give.
God shall give Pharaoh.
Peace.
Best believe it. Peace to his what?
Mine.
Thank you very much. Y'all paying attention. I don't believe it. Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. Behold, there came up out of the river 7 kinds, fat flesh, well favored. They fed in the meadow. Behold, 7 other kinds came up after them, poor, very ill favored, lean flesh, such as I never saw all in the land of Egypt for what?
Bad.
The lean and the ill favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kind. When they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill what? As at the beginning, so I what? I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up, and one stalk full of what? Behold, 7 ears withered thin, blasted with the
East wind.
The east wind,
The judgment.
sprung up after them. The thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare to me. What happened, Mama Rodney? What happened? You don't know. What happened, Cleo? You don't know. What happened, Van?
I don't know.
What happened, Doc?
I don't know.
What happened, Carol?
God didn't give them.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. Verse number 16. God didn't give them nothing. Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. Magicians couldn't give him no answer, because if it wasn't in them, God didn't give it to the magician. They're like, they ain't going to give it to you, because you're going to try to trick somebody. That's why God don't give you no word. That's why I ain't telling you nothing. You're going to try to use it against the preacher.
So you talking about the reprobated mind?
Preach! They got reprobate mind. I told you that. Pharaoh do too. That's deep, ain't it, man? God ain't giving you nothing.
Wow.
God ain't giving you nothing. So you can use it for yourself? That's what I was going to say. You hear the people, they don't reform their life. They say, God been good to me. He delivered me from these drugs. He delivered me from drinking, but you're on the gambling boat. When God delivered you from the world, he delivered you for himself.
Amen.
Don't y'all ever forget that. Let nobody tell you nothing like that in the world. God stopped me from smoking. But you still drinking or going to them practicing sin.
That's Luke the
Ever.
11th chapter.
Huh?
That's Luke the 11th chapter.
Right, don't you ever let
Unclean
nobody,
spirits go forth out of them.
yeah, don't you ever let nobody tell you, God delivered me and saved me from this, but I'm still in fornication. I'm still going to gambling boat. I don't drink, but I smoke. You know, I don't do this, but I do that. You know, every man got some type of vice. You know, God saved you and delivered you from the world. He delivered you for himself. He ain't brought none of us into this ministry for us.
Amen.
He ain't did nothing for you. He do everything for his name's sake. He did nothing for you personally so you can make it in the world. He don't save you for you to live in sin. You crazy. I know I sleep, but it's in my mind. You know that, right?
Yeah.
My foot used to it. Stop watching my foot. Watch the word. Well, ain't nothing there. Put my foot. Ain't nothing there. All right, we have verse number what?
24.
24. This good ain't it? And the 10 ears devoured the 7 good ears. I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh was one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years. The 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. The 7 then, and the favorite kine that came up after them, are 7 years. The 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of what?
Famine.
This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. But Pharaoh don't understand what God is about to do. You don't know what God is going to do in your life. Preacher showed you. You don't want to hear it, but you don't know. God's going to do something in your life. You don't know what it is, what it's told to you. That ain't God, that's you. You're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to, because you don't understand. I'm going to read that one more time. Ain't that good? This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. Pharaoh got more sense than us to know a little bit about the word. You know that, don't you? Pharaoh gonna put him in charge. Pharaoh gonna say, boy, you all right with me. Second in command. Why y'all don't do me like that? Say, preacher, you all right. You second in command in my life under Jesus. I'm under shepherd.
Amen.
Talk to me. You don't see it? I know it. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. God is about to, what God is about to do, what God is about to do, he showed unto Pharaoh, and I reveal it to you. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. There shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now, how are you going to beat it out? In some way. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this. Let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land in Egypt, and the 7 plenteous years. Let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine. Look at this wisdom, which shall be in the land of Egypt, and the land perish not through famine. And this is what I be trying to show y'all when I'm telling y'all, let me get your bills together, come talk to me, sit down and talk to me. Let me give you some wisdom on how to pay your bills. That's all I do. I got that wisdom from God. Same way here.
And they have to do it exactly.
That's what I tell you. You got to do it exactly like I tell you to do it.
Exactly.
Just like I tell you to do it. I ain't going to show him my money. I don't even know how much money I'm making. I ain't know his business. Pharaoh ain't say that. Pharaoh got no sense in us though. And then Jesus said the children of the darkness is wiser than the children of light.
Yes, he did.
Let them gather all the food of those good years to come up and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh. Let them keep food in the cities. That food shall be for storage of the land against the 7 years of famine. And that's what I told you, Charles.
Yes.
And that's what I told you, Carol. And that's what I tell you, Lolita.
Yes.
You got to have some stored up, because a famine going to hit this land. And if you ain't got it mixed, you're going to be in trouble. I keep telling people, get you account, just one account. Don't you ever touch that money. Just put that money in there. Put that money in there. Put that. Don't touch it. Don't touch it for nothing. Don't touch it for nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
she is. You don't know. You gotta remember. You don't remember. She remembers something my wife told. That's what Neil told me. Nothing. When I say that, that's what
That's why I laugh.
Remember I told you that?
He called right.
Nothing.
But that's not funny.
Now, she's talking about the scripture, Lolita.
Okay.
Lolita was laughing at something else, Mom.
Okay.
Oh. She's laughing at the scripture. Oh, laughing at the scripture. Well, she laughing at what my wife, ex-wife did to me. She ain't laughing at the scripture. Don't let the devil get in here. You're doing too good, okay?
Right.
All right, so this is the wisdom that God gave to Joseph to relate to Pharaoh, to keep Pharaoh and them people alive so they can have something for 400 years. I wish I had a
Bad people.
They
Hello? No, man, so they can keep the people alive so that people can be in bondage for 400 years, Lolita.
Okay.
You crazy? You read the Bible, you know good well they ain't say no family, ain't no phone. Now that's funny, mama. You talking about they gonna have family 7 years, and she gonna ask me the question, they gonna be in family 400 years. Now that mama, you should have laughed at that. It say 7 years, Lolita, and that food shall be stored to the land against the 7 years of famine, Lolita, not 400.
Okay. Yeah.
Which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through what? 37. And the thing was good in the eyes or the understanding or the mind. See what I mean, y'all?
Yeah.
And in the understanding and the mind of his what? They said, wow, that's a good idea. Why we didn't think of it? Why you didn't think of it, Ronnie?
It wasn't revealed.
Because God didn't give it to you. Man, what preacher told me is a good idea. Why didn't I never think of that? Cause God didn't want you to have it. He wanted you to get it from the preacher. Nobody want to listen to the preacher. That's what the whole thing. Ain't that deep? That's deep. I'll leave it right there, but don't bring that out probably tomorrow. Eternal God, our Father, I thank you for what you showed us. Thank you for showing us the man of Mizraim. We pray you be with us as we leave this place. In Jesus' name, we pray the church said.